What's up everyone, my name is Anthony Knowles, currently out here in Panama City, Panama, beautiful city. But one thing I really want to talk about today, and this is my first video on the channel, is a little bit more about how I became a travel filmmaker, how I've been traveling the world for the past year, making videos, and possibly as well how you can do the same. So first of all, I really want to talk about how I got where I am today and what my story is. Okay, so you might be wondering why I'm in this room and why I've got my shades on. So the sound was super bad outside, there was so much wind, so I decided to come inside, and the natural light right now is like blinding me, so I've got the shades on to help. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is really my story and how I got to where I am today and how I'm traveling the world making videos. So if I wind the clocks back far enough, I remember being 13 years old, and I remember doing something called parkour and free running, which is kind of jumping on walls, doing flips. And you know, we were doing all these cool things, we were doing backflips and what have you. And then that led me on to kind of getting a camera, filming it and showing my friends. And that went through my teenage years, up until about the age of 16, 17, where I left school and I went to a creators school up in South London. I was there for 2 years, had a great time, met some awesome people. And during that time, I really started to think about what I wanted to do once I left. Did I want to go to university and study? Did I want to go to film school? Or did I want to just leave and make videos? So towards the end of my course at Brit School, everyone was talking about what uni they were going to or what uni they applied for. But me, I actually didn't end up applying for university. I didn't like the idea of spending a few more years kind of reading, writing and studying when I could be out there making the videos I wanted to make. So I ended up leaving, and I remember getting home and I remember my mum saying to me, Anthony, like, what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to get a job? And I remember just saying, look, I'm just going to start making videos and I'm going to see what happens, you know. I was 17, 18, you know, just left, really had the whole world in front of me, and there wasn't much risk. Like, I was still at home, my bills were being paid for, so if it all failed and went to shit, everything would have been okay. I knew what I wanted. I had this vision in my mind of what I wanted to happen in my life. I wanted to go out there and just wake up every day doing exactly what I wanted to do, which was making videos and expressing myself creatively. So yeah, upon leaving school, I started making videos. I made a show reel, I made a website, and then eventually companies and corporations started approaching me, asking me to make video content for them, and they would pay me to do it. And so I was a freelancer for about 2 years. I was doing this for quite a long time. And it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. You know, I'd go months without work. Sometimes it was very hard to find clients. And it was very stressful at times as well, just because I just didn't have the money coming in on a regular basis. So I did that for 2 years, started improving my work, started getting better. And then one day I was sitting at home. It was late 2016. I hadn't had work for months. I was broke, I had no money. And then I was scrolling through Facebook really late at night. There was an ad targeted at filmmakers in London, right? And basically it was a guy who is now my good friend. His name is Jabril Agoro. And he was in London at the time looking for a filmmaker to travel with him and his team around the world. At the time it was like the dream. So, you know, when I saw this advert, it really just drew me in. And what basically he was asking for was 2 videos that you shot and edited yourself and a video of yourself explaining who you are. So what I did that very same hour or 2 hour time period after I saw it, I started sending through all that stuff. I went outside to my back garden, I started shooting the video of myself talking about who I am. And then 2 days later, he ended up emailing me back, like, let's meet. So we ended up meeting the week after. And then long story short, we were talking to each other for a few months. And then about 2 or 3 months later, in the January of 2017, I ended up flying out to Bangkok, and that was over a year ago now, and I've been traveling and making videos ever since. And really it just goes to show how quick your life can really change in just 1 year. You know, going from almost pretty much like unemployed, you know, not much work going on, to now full-time traveling filmmaker. And I've been to so many countries. I've seen and experienced some of the most amazing things. I've captured, you know, beautiful moments, and it's just been one of the most incredible years of my entire life. So you're probably wondering by this point, Anthony, that's all great. I know your story, I know how you got here, but what's in it for me? How can I do the same thing? How can I become a travel filmmaker? So let me just clarify real quick. My story is my story, and I'm not saying that that's gonna happen to everyone. The thing you gotta know about creative industries in general, whether it's photography, whether it's film, is that there's not one kind of steps you can follow to become the person you want to be or the jobs that you want. You can't just, there's not a certain method you can follow in order for that to happen. The hard thing about anything creative is really finding your own path through it. And there are two main things which I found really help in order for you to achieve the goals that you want to achieve and turn those visions into reality. So the first thing I want to talk about really is just being passionate about what you do. The first thing you need to know about getting into filmmaking or anything creative in general is that there needs to be a huge passion behind what you're doing. And that goes for anything in life. Like, if you're not passionate about it and you don't enjoy it, there's literally no point in doing filmmaking or photography or anything creative. If you're trying to make a lot of money, filmmaking is definitely not what you want to get into. I was doing a lot of free work and a lot of low paid work before I ever got some real money from it. And before I got opportunities like this, I was practicing my skill for a long time and developing my talent for a long time before I got any opportunities like this. So you need to go out there and you need to start making videos and you need to start improving and you need to start learning as much as possible. The saying, the more you learn, the more you earn, is so true. So get out there and start making videos, whatever subject suits you. There's always something you can capture. There's always beauty in the world, whether you're into skateboarding and BMXing, whether you live in a beautiful part of the world and you can capture the scenery and the sights. It doesn't really matter what you film. There's always ways to make beauty out of anything. So yeah, just to clarify, point number one, start making the videos. You're gonna get better and better the more you do it. Practice makes perfect. What does a footballer do when it wants to get better? They play. What does a filmmaker do when they want to get better? They just film, they just make the videos. So that's the first step. The second step is, in my opinion, one of the most important things you need to know as a filmmaker, and again, any creative endeavor you want to go into. And this step number two is who you know. Who you know is one of the most important things you're going to come across in the filmmaking industry, in the photography industry, in any creative endeavor that you go into. If I relate it back to myself for a second, so if I didn't know my good friend Jabril Agoro, I wouldn't be here today. If I hadn't have met that one connection, I wouldn't be out here today. It doesn't matter how skilled you are or how good you are behind the camera. If you don't know the right people and you're not vibing out with the correct individuals, you're not going to be blessed with the opportunities that you deserve. If you haven't read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, I highly recommend you read this book. It talks a lot more about how your relationships with individuals is almost more important than the technical skills that you have. And it's so true. Most of the jobs I've got and most of the opportunities I've been blessed with has been through meeting and vibing out with certain people. People like working with people that they know. They like the familiar faces. And so that's going to help you out a lot. It's just social skills and who you're connecting with. It's going to open up doors for you. So if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. This is the first video on the channel. And I've had quite a few questions recently on just, you know, Anthony, this is all great, but how do you actually do it? How did you get to where you are today? And so I really want to share with people, you know, and be open and transparent with how this all happened and how you can do it as well. Because it is an area in film that I feel like really isn't talked about too much. You see all these amazing filmmakers out there that are traveling the world and doing all these amazing things, but a lot of them don't actually explain how you can actually get there or do what they're doing. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will be releasing some more videos soon. If you want, give me a subscribe, give me a like, show me some love, and also give me some suggestions in the comments as well. I really would like to know what you guys want. Do you want me to do daily vlogs? Do you want me to do some sort of tutorials on filmmaking? Let me know. And also, if you're interested in checking out some of my work, I'll put a link in the description. There's a channel called Passport Heavy. It's the team I work with. We travel the world and we make some amazing videos. So go check the link if you're interested. I'll also be dropping an ebook very soon on a lot of this stuff, teaching you guys really what to know about filmmaking, what to know when you're getting into filmmaking, how to get into filmmaking, and all the little things that you might be asking about it. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.